Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to listen to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi made some remarks today, remarks that clearly confirms they have surrendered. They don't have a plan, they don't have a clue, and they don't know on how to find a solution to all the ills Kenyans are going through. Listen to Rigathi Gachagua before we proceed.
Let anybody who has an idea on how to fix this economy come and talk to us. I want, on behalf of the president, to welcome you as ISPAC. Come and talk to our people at the National Treasury, and we'll ask you to talk to the president, and all of us are aligned. This is our country, and as I said, we don't know everything. If you have better ideas than we have, this is our country. We have no other country. Please come and talk to us, and whatever you advise us, if it's prudent, if it can get us out of the quagmire that we find ourselves in, we shall say asante sana. So please, you are most welcome.
That's Rigathi Gachagua speaking today. I want to put those remarks into perspective for Kenyans to understand them deeper. Let me start by saying this. Rigathi is indirectly saying that as a government, we have tried all we could, but we have failed. So he's just asking for help because they have tried their best, but they have failed. So any Kenyan still waiting for this government to deliver, wake up from that slumber. Rigathi himself has admitted they have tried, they have failed. So he's asking for help. And that brings us to the big question. Is Rigathi and his team, Kenya Kwanza, William Ruto, are they ready to be helped? Because William Ruto is the CEO and he talks as if he is a know-it-all kind of a person. And helping such kind of a person sometimes becomes very, very hard. Is Kenya Kwanza ready to be helped, or what are the games being played here? The remarks by Rigathi Gachagua, as much as they are an admission that they have tried but they have failed, I'm seeing it also as a PR. Rigathi wants to create an impression that Kenya Kwanza is a listening government, a government receptive of divergent views and opinions. That's what I'm seeing here. It can also pass on as just a PR stunt by Kenya Kwanza team. And I'm saying that because it's a fact that what ails this government are things in the public domain. Rigathi does not need any special person to advise them on how to find a solution. The first thing, they should just tame corruption, because corruption in this government is rampant. In just under 1 year, we've seen and heard of mega corruption scandals. The recent one being the 17 billion Kenya shillings, which we are being told was withdrawn from the consolidated fund without Parliament's approval, without the Controller of Budget's approval. That to me passes out as corruption. So 17 billion has already been squandered. We still remember the edible oil importation into the country, where the Kenyan government lost 10 billion Kenya shillings. Money they could have gotten in form of tax. Some rogue elements in the government connived with some brokers. They imported edible oil tax-free into the country. Then they sold that oil again to the government at inflated prices. So on tax alone, Kenya lost 10 billion Kenya shillings. That's also corruption. There are several instances where we can prove corruption. If this government can't tame corruption, then nobody can help them. Let them tame corruption. They don't need anybody special to advise them. It's pure corruption. According to Auditor General's report, Kenya has been losing third of its annual budget to corruption. In this government, we are most likely going to lose even 50%, courtesy to a government condoning corruption. Let William Ruto and his team work on corruption. Look at the characters who have been appointed in this government as cabinet secretaries, as PSS, people of questionable characters, people who had been accused of corruption before and even charged in courts of law, people who some were accused of murder and even rape. Those are the individuals who have been appointed as top government officials, replacing the professionals that were in Uhuru Kenyatta's government. Rigathi, instead of looking for people, special people to advise you, just appoint the right people in your government. This is not rocket science. Appoint men and women of integrity. You can't appoint thieves in your government and then you expect that government to perform. Appoint men and women of integrity. And also look at the tribalism in this government. Rigathi himself has been saying this is a shareholding government. So Rigathi is also a problem, and that's why this government is not performing. If you appoint individuals based on ethnicity, where they come from, who voted for us, that's a government that will never perform, will never deliver. And also just look at Rigathi Gachagua and even William Ruto. Total wastage of taxpayers' money. If this government can't cut on spending, then it's very clear they'll never get a solution. In just 1 year, travel expenses that this government has disbursed, 14 billion Kenya shillings, has been disbursed on travel expenses alone. Cut on that. As I talk, William Ruto is in Germany. A few days ago, he promised to cut on travel expenses. In 1 year, Ruto has made over 41 trips. Kibaki, who he says he admires, only made 36 trips in 10 years. This one has made over 41 in 1 year. That kind of a government cannot stand. It's very clear that this is a government that is headed for a collapse. And that brings us to the main point. Ruto and his team are very clueless on governance. They were not ready, not prepared to form a government. Now that they have the government, they are confused. They don't know how to start the government, how to run it, how to pause, or even how to stop. They are just clueless. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribe, give this video a like. In case you may want to support us, contact me through that number or feel free to send me your coffee to that number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
Mimi nikiwa ndani ya Kericho, kulingana na vile nimekuwa nikiambia Ruto ukweli, ninaona masiku zangu zimekaribia. Sioni nikiendelea kutoboa. Sasa naomba watu wa media, watu wa TikTok, musikose kwa msiba yangu. Hii ndio picha itawekwa kwa sanduku.